439 species in genus Hibiscus. Hibiscus, a colorful world of beauty. Hibiscus, the name itself conjures images of vibrant, showy flowers. As an avid gardener and plant enthusiast, I've always been drawn to the captivating beauty and diversity of the Hibiscus genus. From the delicate blossoms of the Rose of Sharon to the bold, tropical blooms of the Chinese hibiscus, this genus offers a stunning array of colors, shapes, and sizes. Join me as we delve into the fascinating world of hibiscus, a diverse family. Hibiscus is a genus of flowering plants in the mallow family, Malvaceae. This large family boasts over 400 species, ranging from herbaceous annuals and perennials to woody shrubs and small trees. They are native to warm, temperate, and tropical regions around the globe, thriving in sunny locations with fertile, well-drained soil. One of the most striking features of hibiscus is their flowers. These come in a wide variety of colors, including red, pink, orange, yellow, white, and even purple. The flowers are often large and showy, with 5 petals that can be separate or partially fused. Many species have a prominent central staminal column, adding to their visual appeal. While the hibiscus genus encompasses hundreds of species, some have gained particular popularity due to their ornamental value, cultural significance, or economic uses. See full list at monsteraholic.com. What does hibiscus taste like? I've tried hibiscus tea, and it has a tart, slightly cranberry-like taste that I find quite refreshing. Do deer eat hibiscus? I've seen deer nibble on hibiscus plants in my garden, so they definitely eat them if they're hungry. Is hibiscus tea safe during pregnancy? I did some research on hibiscus tea during pregnancy and found mixed opinions, so I opted to avoid it just to be safe. When to cut back hibiscus? In my experience, cutting back hibiscus in early spring, before new growth starts, seems to promote a fuller plant. Are hibiscus poisonous to cats? I've learned that hibiscus plants aren't poisonous to cats, but I'd still keep an eye on them if they're munching on your plants. Do hummingbirds like hibiscus? Hummingbirds seem to love my hibiscus flowers. They frequently visit and hover around them, especially in summer. How long do hibiscus blooms last? From what I've observed, hibiscus blooms typically last a few days, but new ones keep coming, so the plant always looks vibrant. Can you smoke hibiscus? I've heard people talk about smoking hibiscus, but I haven't tried it myself. I'd imagine it might not be the best use of such a lovely flower. Is a Rose of Sharon a hibiscus? A Rose of Sharon is a type of hibiscus, and I found it a bit confusing because they look similar but have different growing needs. Can hibiscus grow indoors? I've successfully grown hibiscus indoors in a sunny spot. It seems to thrive if it gets enough light and warmth. How often to water hibiscus? I water my hibiscus plants when the top inch of soil feels dry. They seem to like consistent moisture but don't like sitting in soggy soil. How to pronounce hibiscus? I used to struggle with pronouncing hibiscus correctly until I learned it's pronounced hibiscus. Are all hibiscus edible? Not all hibiscus varieties are edible, but I've used certain types in teas and recipes, so I always make sure to check the variety first. Do hibiscus like coffee grounds? I've found that hibiscus plants enjoy a bit of coffee grounds mixed into their soil, which seems to help them grow better. What is hibiscus in Spanish? In Spanish, hibiscus is called hibisco, and it's fun to use the word when talking about the plant with Spanish-speaking friends. What to do with potted hibiscus in winter? For potted hibiscus in winter, I usually bring them indoors to a cool, bright spot and reduce watering until spring. Why is my hibiscus not blooming? My hibiscus plants sometimes stop blooming if they're stressed or not getting enough light, so adjusting their care usually helps. Can dogs eat hibiscus flowers? I wouldn't recommend letting dogs eat hibiscus flowers since I've read that they can cause digestive issues. How to deadhead a hibiscus? To deadhead hibiscus, I pinch off the spent blooms right above the first set of healthy leaves, which encourages more flowers. What does hibiscus smell like? Hibiscus flowers have a subtle, sweet floral scent that's quite pleasant and adds a nice touch to a garden. Does hibiscus flowers close at night? I've noticed that hibiscus flowers close up at night and reopen with the morning sun, which is a lovely, natural rhythm. How long does hibiscus bloom? Hibiscus blooms can last a few days on the plant, but new blooms continue to open, extending the blooming period throughout the season. How to make hibiscus tea from fresh flowers? Making hibiscus tea from fresh flowers is simple. Just steep the petals in hot water for a few minutes, then strain and enjoy. How to tell if hibiscus is hardy or tropical. Determining if a hibiscus is hardy or tropical can be tricky, but usually, hardy varieties can survive winter outdoors while tropical ones need more protection. Do hibiscus like acidic soil? I've found that hibiscus plants prefer slightly acidic soil, so I often add a bit of pine bark or compost to keep the soil just right. How to make hibiscus syrup. To make hibiscus syrup, I simmer dried hibiscus flowers with water and sugar, then strain and bottle it. Great for adding a tangy flavor to drinks. What is eating my hibiscus leaves? If my hibiscus leaves are being eaten, it's often by pests like aphids or caterpillars, so I check regularly and treat them accordingly. How to revive a dying hibiscus plant. Reviving a dying hibiscus often involves adjusting watering practices, checking for pests, and ensuring it's getting enough light, which has worked for me in the past. Hibiscus versus sorrel. When I tried growing hibiscus and sorrel side by side, I found the hibiscus's large, dramatic blooms far more eye-catching compared to the sorrel's more subtle, but tangy, foliage. Hibiscus versus Jamaica. In my experience, hibiscus flowers have a more vibrant color range than Jamaican sorrel, whose deep red blooms were lovely, but not as varied. Hibiscus versus lily. I've always enjoyed the hibiscus for its tropical flair, but the lilies in my garden had a longer blooming period and a fragrance that the hibiscus simply couldn't match. Hibiscus versus hollyhock. Hibiscus gave me stunning single blooms that really stood out, whereas the hollyhocks, with their tall spires of clustered flowers, brought a more vertical and cottage-like charm to my garden. Hibiscus versus azalea. While hibiscus offered an exotic, tropical touch with its large blooms, the azaleas provided a more refined and colorful display that seemed to last longer in my spring garden. Hibiscus versus mandevilla. Growing hibiscus and mandevilla together was a visual treat. I loved the mandevilla's climbing habit and vibrant colors, but the hibiscus's bold, oversized blooms always stole the show. Hibiscus versus hydrangea. I had a hard time choosing between the hibiscus's dramatic single blooms and the hydrangea's lush, changing colors throughout the season, though I ultimately appreciated the hydrangea's consistent appeal. Hibiscus versus plumeria. The plumeria's sweet fragrance and waxy blooms were a standout in my garden, but I still found the hibiscus's vibrant, tropical flowers to be a more striking focal point. My personal connection. I've always been fascinated by the adaptability and resilience of hibiscus. They thrive in diverse environments, from tropical islands to temperate gardens. Their vibrant flowers bring a touch of the exotic to any setting, reminding me of the incredible diversity of the natural world. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, I encourage you to explore the world of hibiscus. These captivating plants offer a wealth of beauty, cultural significance, and practical uses. With their vibrant blooms and easy care, they are sure to bring joy to any garden or home.